All right. Hello, y'all. You know what? I am sorry that first live that I did, for some reason, my microphone was not working. And I'm going to go ahead and do a sound check. Okay. Give me a second. Testing. Is my audio back? Thing is not moving. Audio should be back. And hello, hello. It's High Priestess Jamila. So I am sorry about that first live that I did. I think I needed to restart my phone. And I've been needing to restart my phone for the longest. In fact, I'm gonna do the security updates on my phone because I like to keep my stuff secure. Okay. Yes. The heck. Okay. So first of all, if you guys have not gotten into my Sam Haines circle, you need to do so immediately. Okay. You know, and so you can visit my website or you guys can cash at me to join. Because let me tell you something, and I pretty much said so much in the last live that I did, and but Spirit is gonna help me reiterate what I was talking about. So I apologize for that. Okay. First of all, I just wanted to say that there has been way, way, way too much chaos, craziness, embarrassment in social media. So I have been literally trying to get a break from social media for over a year. I am not kidding, y'all. I have been wanting a break from social media for so long because I feel like a lot of these social media platforms can turn into a trap. And then there's many, many trap doors within the trap that I've pretty much freed myself and my loved ones from. It's a lot with social media. It's annoying, and I'm here to talk about it. But I want to first start off by saying that I say my incantations with Hades, with Santa Martha, with Lilith every single day. And I'm not joking around with y'all. I don't want to be involved with any chaos and confusion and fighting and arguing that I don't have to do because it is unnecessary. It is not going to change anything in the grand scheme of things. And then it's also annoying and it's embarrassing. Okay. Um, I had a discussion the other day about going back and forth, going back and forth, going back and forth. As a witch, as an authentic witch, we done with that. We're not going back and forth anymore. I refuse to go back and forth. And I don't have to do that because I am black. I don't have to go back and forth even when it comes to spiritual energy, even when it comes to hexes and vexes and curses and things of that nature. I don't have to go back and forth. This is the reason why, I don't, you don't I don't even use double action reversal candles. I don't do that. If I feel like there's a spirit that's on me, or if I feel the need to, I will use a chime candle and my simmer pot. I don't do that. No, I don't. Now, if I were doing work, maybe possibly for a client, it depends on if I would make a decision to use a 7-day candle, uh, and it would depend. Otherwise, I'm just not doing it. I'm not going back and forth with these people in social media. And what I wanted to talk about was several different things tonight. First of all, people on here trying to force people to conform to their beliefs. This is being done by men as well as women on this website. Social media should never turn into a violation of your human and civil and constitutional rights. And that is exactly what is happening. And it is being allowed. And I think that it is because of the grip and the hold that religion still has on people. Now, I was looking at some stuff about 3 weeks ago, right? It was about a month ago, and I'm gonna talk about this, okay? Um, the people that have came after me and attacked me, they maybe a month ago, I was reviewing their content and I was looking in the chat because, like I said, my spirits, they let me know what's going on. And I noticed that there was somebody in the chat room speaking and saying that they were an ordained minister, but yet they are participating in the most disgusting, vile behavior. They even named the church that they even named the church that ordained them as a minister. Needless to say, that was handled. Not going to go into detail about that. We all have the right to choose what we want in our lives. And this is the reason why I am doing it no more. Now, here's another thing. I am not going to keep repeating the same thing over and over again, because once you have said something the first time, there's no need to repeat it. In fact, if somebody starts any kind of beef with me of any kind, I'm just going to share this particular live to my community wall, and whatever live stream video that I put up already to address that, I will share it to my community wall and I will say, I've already addressed this. What I want to address right now is the not even the disgusting acts of people that are from the church and religion, and the apparent problem with that, and then feeling comfortable with what they're doing because I'm black. because they're dealing with a black person. They feel comfortable with that. Okay. I am never going to conform with your beliefs or your religion. I am never going to even resemble, because some of these people, they accuse you of trying to follow in their footsteps, and when they see that you deviate completely away from their behavior, then they want to get mad and make it seem like you're following in their footsteps, or you're some kind of protege of theirs, and I am not. There are too many like diabolically controlling people on here that want you to conform to their beliefs, and I personally am never going to do it. It's never going to happen. The mind trick and the mind game that is being played currently, which is to be as disgusting and disrespectful as possible towards me, okay? Coming towards me with that energy while bigging up and showing love and respect, which would mean that it's fake to people just because they are of the same religion of you. First of all, if you're doing things like that, I don't want anything to do with you in the first place. But second of all, I don't, tricks are for kids. So I don't conform with tricks. Okay. I don't respond to mind games. I've been like this since I was a child, since I was a baby. I am not only a natural born cosmic witch, but I am also a nature witch that is connected to energies and natures that most people would not, they're never going to understand in their lifetime. Just because I'm black doesn't mean that I have to read the Bible. I'm not going to ever practice witchcraft 6 days a week and then on Sunday ask for God's forgiveness. For what? Those are not my beliefs. I don't believe that I was born in sin. No, my parents loved each other. Okay. So I was not born in sin. My parents were definitely in love when they conceived me. So I was not born in sin. Okay. And then also another thing, I don't particularly agree that it is wrong. I don't agree at all that it's wrong to be a witch. That's just like telling um that's just like telling a bee or a wasp or a spider that it is wrong for being born that way in nature. It's comparable to that. So this is the reason why I will never conform to that. I have stated it, I have said it. It doesn't matter. All of these pulpit pimps on here trying to keep their pimp hand strong. I am, listen, um, hmm, first of all, I have a man and a significant other in my life, and he respects my beliefs just like I respect his beliefs. Okay. So I'm not interested in a man that doesn't accept and respect my beliefs. Just like there's no, and I'm not going to get into his beliefs because I'm not giving any information about him because there's people on here stalking and fishing for information um, about him. And I'm sorry, there's been 10 years of stalking by a religious man that is extremely obsessed with me and thought he could use religion and abuse to nag me, and it's just not gonna happen. It's not. I'm gonna always not come anywhere near you or towards you. In fact, you're banned and you're banished from my life, and I will have nothing to do with somebody like that. Okay. But I respect his spiritual beliefs and he respects mine. And what I feel from the person that I am in love with is that his gods are protecting me big time, and then my gods and spirits are protecting him. And it just works. If I go and I pray, as y'all call prayer, in my own way, and then he prays in his way, and that's just, it just works, because I believe that your spiritual beliefs are personal to you. Okay, I do. Now, um, I'm never gonna conform to your beliefs, no matter what you do. In fact, what is happening now at this point is that it's become so redundant that I have just asked Hades to destroy these people. Please understand that the next time you get up in the morning and you try to pray against me and you try to take away from who I am and you try to make me not who I am in nature, that is going to backfire on you. Do not include me in your prayers nor your pray. I'm not your prey and I don't want to be included in your prayers. I don't want anything to do with that. And then also, here's another thing that I was discussing in the last video that I was doing, is that I am not in agreement with practicing, thank you, sweetie, with practicing witchcraft and then calling and then being Christian at the same time. And very soon there are going to be a lot of people that are going to be coming out and agreeing with everything that I said about that. Okay. Just by observation, I've noticed that people that try to practice the craft and be Christian at the same time, I've noticed that they do nothing but create a lot of chaos and problems for themselves, that they have to come out in social media and then try to find somebody to put it on or scapegoat on. I spoke about that yesterday as well. Nobody over here, not none of my loved ones, are going to be a scapegoat for your disaster, the disaster that you're creating within your life by trying to be a Christian witch. And then I I am a Black woman who is an authentic traditional witch that is in opposition of hoodoo, of practicing hoodoo with the Bible. I don't agree with it. Okay. You do what you want to do. Don't involve me. Don't involve me, because when you involve me, guess what? My spirits are going to hear you and they're not going to be happy and you're not going to get the outcome that you want. I'm sorry. Okay. You don't have the right just because I'm Black. Hey, can you move that? Because I put that thing over there. Just kind of move it over there. Yeah. All of us Black witches out here in social media don't practice hoodoo. I don't practice hoodoo. I am a traditional witch. I'm just a witch, a shamanic witch who is also a healer. I do not conform to any religious belief system at all. I do not do that. I can respect it, but what I'm sensing a lot that's happening is that a lot of these people are trying to force people to conform to their beliefs. And I think that that's weird. And then I also think that they want certain people to conform to their beliefs because apparently you having your own beliefs is not good enough. So in retrospect, you're saying that you need for people to validate your beliefs, which is what you're doing. You want people to do what you do because you don't even really believe in what you're doing yourself. I believe in what I'm doing because I do it every day, not only for myself and my clients, and it works. It always works. It never has failed me, not once. Okay, not once has it failed me. It's not going to allow me to live in somebody's house rent free forever. No, that's not. I can't just walk up to somebody's house and say, I live here and you go. Like, that's not going to happen. But it does serve me. Okay. So I don't know what to tell people with that whole situation, to where they need for Jamila to be a part of and conforming and bowing down to their beliefs. Like, I just literally don't understand that. And the obsession. Okay. We are working with Hades on these people that are obsessed. We are psychic, we are telepathic, and we are tired of hearing people chant our names as if we are gods. I am not your God. I'm not. I am a flesh and blood woman that enjoys earthly pleasures. I've got children, grandchildren. I've got a man that I love and care about. I've got friends. I've got sisters. I'm not trying to be God at all. Now, my relationship with my gods is that they give me the power to get what I get. And see, that is a huge difference between me and my beliefs and your beliefs. Because if you're Christian, you are supposed to be letting God have control. If you're trying to practice witchcraft and manifest something, you're not doing what that God told you to do. So this is why I'm sorry. I'm not sorry. I am not going to even try that. And I don't recommend anyone else doing it. Please don't mix those religions together as a practice. I've been saying it for the longest. People that don't want to listen to me, and they want to, because first of all, you're at war with yourself. If you do that, why would you do that? For what? You making things more difficult on yourself. And then you're coming to social media and you're expecting everybody else to do that, and I'm not going to do that. And you can't force me just because I'm black. That would be just like saying, hey, Jamila, jump off of this cliff, jump off of this bridge, walk into a burning building and burn yourself to death. Just because you're black, you have to do it. I'm not going to do it. I am not. I refuse. You creating your own chaos. I know that so and so and so and so and so was 95 years old, and they told you, hey, Jamila don't know what she talking about, and doing it this way is the way to do it, but it's not. You are not. It's there's not. No. You can't be a witch Monday through Saturday, and then on Sunday you're a Christian. That's not the way that it works. Your Bible condemns any and all pagan practices. This is why there's a lot of Christians who they're not even celebrating Christmas anymore, which is crazy. Like, to me, that's just crazy. I celebrate Yule personally and Samhain. And, I have just been in love with life ever since I started celebrating the pagan holidays. And I celebrate every pagan holidays, and it's going to be a staple. It's who I am. I am High Priestess Jamila. I am going to always have something going on during the Sabbaths. And it's okay if you don't. You don't have to. But if you want to join my circles, you can, because that's the way that I do it. I want to keep the tradition of the witch alive and well. And this is who I am. This is the growth, this is the development of who I am as a witch. And I love it. And it works for me and it also works for my clients. Okay. Now, I am a natural born witch. I'm a cosmic witch. I'm an earthly witch. I am a bloodline witch. Okay. However, I do choose to work with my gods and goddesses. And when I first started out my practice, I worked a lot with Kali Ma, a lot with Lord Ganesha, a lot with Lakshmi. I worked with Shiva a lot, and I love those gods, and I will always continue to practice with those gods. Now, do I have to label myself as a Hindu? No, I don't, because Shiva is a manifestation of Satan. Okay, so I don't have to, because all in all, I am considered to be a Satanist. And, you know, the Christians will freak out about that, and people will freak out about that. And I think that it's really just, I personally think that what you're dealing with when that happens, the whole satanic panic is really all about false outrage, is what I believe that it's about. But then some people actually have real fears of that, which is understandable. And, that is not something that I want to come across as, because that's not what it's about. It's actually about the opposite of fear. It's a wonderful, and people think that Satanism is all about what it's been labeled in the media, and there's always propaganda. And then when it comes to famous people and stuff, a lot of people on this website talk about famous people, and oh, they're worshiping the devil, and they're doing these rituals and these sex parties, which have absolutely nothing to do with our practices at all. Having a freak off has nothing to do with Satanism. I can assure you. But there's people out here that say it, and people love to hear it. Over here, you're gonna get 100% the real truth. Okay. Um, but I practiced that way for the longest, and I first started getting contacted by the witch's devil in probably what, like 2017, 2018, somewhere in there. I started getting contacted by the witch's devil, and I fought it, because there's a witch's devil and then there's the biblical devil, which is two different things. Okay, in my humble opinion. Okay. Then finally I said, let me see what this is about. Now, the familiarity of it all just kind of laid into place. And how I ended up walking the left hand path was fate. It was fate, and partially the reason why. And it was gonna happen anyway, regardless. But I think that what made it even more stronger and more dire and detrimental for me as a witch, to protect myself so that I'm not sick or half dead, or skin falling off my body and stuff like that. I'm not going to send myself through that. I'm not going to punish myself for being a witch, because a man created a religion based upon who he was speaking to as God. But I can tell you that it was necessary, very necessary for me, because of the attacks that I was receiving from religious people. And I'm talking about dangerous attacks, death threats, harassment, stalking. My children were being threatened. It was awful. It was awful. And they told me that the reason why they were able to do that is because once again, because I'm black. And these were black people that were doing it. Hey, listen, okay? Hades is going to make sure that no one is able to ever violate my spiritual, constitutional, and human rights ever again. And I'm not sure what this type of desperation is and what is going on with it, but I think that it is high time that religious people finally follow their religious beliefs and turn a blind eye to the affairs of the witches, because it is becoming dangerous. It is becoming dangerous because at a time where you are telling witches and descendants of witches that they should be praying to Jesus, who is not going to do anything for them, you're telling them to do that, and these people are suffering, and they've been doing it since the cycle has been there. The results have been there in their 20s, their 30s, their 40s, and now their 50s. And they still have nothing. And they're sick, they losing, and you're still trying to pump this religious indoctrinated belief out to them, and you're doing nothing but hurting them and their families. And this is one of the reasons why Hecate has stepped in. She was really active during the month of September and became more powerful about the end of September. She became very active, okay? She's not co-signing. If you do anything that resembles a spell, she's not co-signing it. She's not letting it go through. In fact, they're binding people. They are really, and I've been saying this for the longest. And no, I don't get a whole lot of views, and that makes sense because of what, you know, a majority is gonna follow. A majority is gonna follow the stupidity. There's only going to be a select few that are going to be lucky enough to hear this message, and it's all been done by fate. It's fate. Okay, that's just like Jesus said, I'm only going to save 144,000. It's I don't need millions and millions and millions and millions of people. That's not even, I wouldn't even have the capability of doing that right now anyway. I run a small business where I am doing my work for people, as well as I am a teacher, okay, of the craft. And that's all I need. I don't need to have like thousands and thousands and thousands of people like that. I couldn't even imagine that. Like, no, like I don't want a bunch of people waiting on me. Just no, it's fine the way that it is. Trust me, I get what I need out of social media. So I'm not worried about that. But if you're lucky enough to hear what I'm saying to you, then you will understand that there are many of you guys that your, especially Christianity, you know what I'm saying? Muslim, not really. That's a totally different thing. That's different. But when it comes to Christianity, many of you guys have a direct history of that, and it's not for your benefit, it's actually of your detriment. And we got a lot of people that are trying to say, hey, you can live in both worlds, and you can't. And a lot of people are finding that out. They have a lot of chaos, they have a lot of disturbances, and spirit, the underworld, hears that stuff, like, and they're watching you. Like, for example, it is it is a side to where you have to pick a side in your practice. You can't ride the fence. Now, when it comes to the pagan gods, and Like I was talking about Odin, Athena, and Hermes, and they having their little tiff. That has nothing to do with us. But uh you're trying to do something to where, like, those gods or beings are in direct opposition of one another. And then you're trying to say, oh, I'm a witch and I'm practicing witchcraft, but I read the Bible. Think about how that makes no sense, and then look around and look at things that don't make sense and stop accepting things that don't make sense. Because when it doesn't make any sense, what does it do? It creates chaos and stress. Yeah, that's just like saying, I want to unblock my crown chakra, but then block it. I want to do this, but then again, I don't. What? Wait a minute. So you're going in two different directions at the same time? And I personally, because I have had to remove, I'm going to tell y'all straight up and down. And I've had this experience several times over the past just 3 to 6 months. Clients that have came from other people that were supposed to be witches. And I know that this is going to hurt a lot of people. It's going to hurt them because they don't want to deconstruct what they've done, and then they're scared that they won't be accepted, right? If they pick a side. I have literally had to remove the worst curses and spirits from clients who have went to people who call themselves practicing witchcraft but reading the Bible. Those are some of the worst. Utter destruction, chaos, confusion was upon that client. It takes months, sometimes even years, to get that off of clients, because what you're trying to do is you're trying to say, hey, I'm a witch and I'm practicing witchcraft, but praise Jesus and God forgive me for being a witch. No, no. Why? Why? What's the purpose? It makes no sense. And usually, when the clients come to me, their lives are destroyed. Even Psalms, stop it. This is literally, you know what? I stand against it, and I stand very strong. And you know what? I don't care about the backlash. I've got to keep it real, because based upon what my spirit guides have told me and what I have observed. Now, another thing that they're doing is they are taking what is called sacrifices. When you try to mix it, and then a lot of the clients, when they come to me, they have to be cleansed of that, because you're saying, hey, I made a mistake. I done opened up Pandora's box and I have no clue or wisdom of how to fix it. And then I won't take the time. I'm too lazy to take the time to figure it out. My mind is all over the place. I can't do it. I don't care enough. I don't take it seriously enough to do that. And so what you do, what they will do, and what the Bible does a lot, because trust me, you think that as a witch, I haven't read the Bible. You think we don't know what's in there? That's why I made the live yesterday saying that we have a no scapegoating or sacrificial lamb clause in our in my life, my soul contract, my existence. We don't do that. But what they will do is they will say, oh, this is convenient. Okay, I done messed up and made the wrong decision. So I'm going to go back to the Bible and I'm going to read passages of the Bible so that I can sacrifice an innocent person. It doesn't matter who it is. It can be a baby. It can be and then when you come across the wrong person, when you try to sacrifice the wrong person on Mother Earth's land, this is when you're gonna have a problem. So what is that? What is that? Negative karma. Now you got negative karma on you. Okay. And we do believe in animal sacrifice. Now I will tell you that when on some levels, but see, sometimes you got to be careful with these people in social media because they could have a video of them slaughtering a goat, or they could have a video of them slaughtering a chicken that they're just sending to every client that they speak to, because a lot of them are scam artists. So you can't really confirm unless you are there in person that that goat or that chicken was even slaughtered as a sacrifice. And then also you have to make sure through the oracle's divination if that particular spirit or if it's going to be accepted as a sacrifice. Now who but then you have to think about this: who is the sacrifice being made to? This is what a lot of people don't understand. This is the reason why it's not complete. It's incomplete. It's subpar. And what it does is it does nothing. It does absolutely nothing. Okay. But as far as with human sacrifice, then what people will do is they will go and they will try to find somebody else to blame for their mistakes. Oh, I want to put it all off on this person or that person, which is typically and particularly the witches. Am I lying? Am I lying about that? No, I'm not. They want to. It's they and spirit be like, yes, they do want the witches to be the sacrifices, and they'll laugh about it because it's laughable to them, because they're not going to be allowed to do that. They never have been allowed to do that. Something that was not written in the Bible, but it probably was mentioned. It probably has been written throughout history how the land itself attacked people that went on these crusades against innocent witches and women and children. And why repeat a history that is totally silly? Why do that? Something that already has hurt and generationally cursed people for the longest. I don't understand it. It's weird to me, and so I say this to say this. You can't do both. It's not to say that you can't have friends that are of a different faith. You can, right? You can. But the whole spiritual warfare that's been out here has been ridiculous. And it's been beheaded. It's been at the bequest. I've noticed a lot of black people doing that. You're making a mistake. You don't have the right to pinpoint and target every black witch, and you don't even do that. You don't even do that. You cherry pick and you pick and choose who you think you can attack. And you don't have strength or in groups and numbers. You don't. Stop lying to yourself and telling yourself that. You've gotten lucky. You've gotten lucky. And a lot of them are so possessed. Ooh, they possessed, y'all. I swear they are super. Like, I'm talking about, I ain't gonna be cleansing none of them people. I, you know, I mean, I could take a lot of firepower to do that. Good grief. And so then there is the whole thing that I wanted to talk about with people just simply resting on, well, I don't even really believe in any of it anyway. I don't believe in none of it. So then now you're in, and then when you come out here, you're supposed to be a whole witch, and then you say, well, no, I'm Christian, and da 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 da. And so then you threw your hands and you hid them. Now you're throwing hands and you're hiding them. That doesn't make any sense either. And that's why we're calling in Hades to end that entire cycle, because a lot of us witches are tired of it. All this back and forth and back and forth and back and forth. Just because a person is black or single or this or that does not mean that they have to go back and forth with you. And if you are who you are, then be who you are and be okay with it, and stop, running around here watching behind other people. You don't have the authority to do that. It's people on here buying views and fluffing their views and saying, well, I've got 50 watching and I've got 100 watching, and that means that I have the authority. No, you don't. As a black woman, I can't believe to the degree that I've been that black people have tried to violate me. Like that, I'm disgusted by it. And then another thing, Hades is going to help you with your obsessive behavior and your fear. Uh-huh. He gonna help. He gonna help. That's why a lot of people have been getting in my circle, because they've been going back and forth and back and forth and back and forth with people. And it's like, what is up with this back and forth? You take your energy and I take mine. And part of the reason why they want to go back and forth is because they're also doing this destiny stealing, soul stealing, energy thieving, and all of that crud. And none of that, all that stuff is stupid. I mean, it's very real, but it's stupid for you to do that in the first place. You know what I'm saying? And I believe that this type of forced ignorance was pretty much infiltrated the spiritual community on YouTube. And that's the one thing that a lot of us that are concerned about that, we've been talking to the gods about that. We don't like the fact that y'all infiltrated the spiritual community and then created more extra work for us to have to do, which I don't mind. I mean, I do this full time. All I have to do all day is look after my clients. That's all I have to do all day, and my loved ones and my children. I do it full time for a living, and I should get paid for it. I don't do that for free. So if that's what I do all day, every day, that ain't welfare and nothing like that. I make a pretty decent amount of money doing what I do, and I'm supposed to. Okay, so And now I will tell you that nothing is more irritating to the spirits, because every single day it seems like it's extra work that has to be done, because these people are constantly trying to tell the spirit, like that. Okay, in other words, I'm going to expose this right now. The church, religion, Christianity has sent these frauds into the spiritual community to mislead people that are looking for witches and witchcraft, and to deceive them. That would be no different than me as a witch, which I would never do this. You will never catch me in any of your churches. They infiltrated. Why would you do that? Like, who thought of that? Like, that's ridiculous. And why are you doing that? Why are you doing it? Hello, Stefan. Good evening. Why are you infiltrating the spiritual community? Why did you infiltrate the witchy community? Why? Did we infiltrate your churches? No. Are we interested in infiltrating your churches? No. Okay, and if a bunch of hoodoo practitioners did that, if y'all got a bunch of hoodoo ladies in y'all church, that don't have nothing to do with me. I don't have to force nobody to practice witchcraft or to be a witch. They just either one or they not. And they tried to infiltrate my business too, which was very, very rude and silly. Yeah. Don't nobody that works with Jesus venerate the ancestors. That's not a part of that. Is ancestor veneration is not a part of the church. If you read or use the Bible, you're not supposed to be doing that. Now, what's going to happen? Chaos is going to ensue. You're going to blame the witches for telling you the truth. So, because I told you what it was, that's your own gods punishing you for that. Your gods are doing it. They told you not to do it. This is why I told y'all earlier, I don't touch a Bible except to burn it. I'm a witch. I am who I am. I would never keep a Bible in my home. I would never sit down and read it for what? So that I can get something out of it, when it already tells me that it hates me and that it's and all of this other stuff. I wouldn't do it. And even Psalms. And it's okay that people don't accept me. It's okay. I'm fine with that. I'm fine with certain people not accepting me. I don't have an issue with that. Oh, you can't sit with us. Okay. Yeah, that's fine with me as well. Us witches have a system. We have everything readily available to us that we need right here. Period. There's no need for us to go to church on Sunday. We can sleep in on Sunday or either get up and on Sunday I honor Brigitte every Sunday. Brigitte, Helios, Apollo, Love. I don't have nothing to, or Baal, which some people think is Beelzebub, but it's not. It's not the same. Okay. So why do you think that it's okay? And a lot of the black witches, like, especially on YouTube, it's like a virus on YouTube. I can't even find none of the witches that I would enjoy who are whatever race, black or white, that even believe in what I believe in and to. And I would love to find them so that I can subscribe to their channels. You can go on TikTok and find them. It's a lot of hoodoo women on TikTok though. You know what I'm saying? But you can find, some because and it's not that I'm just looking for black people or whatever, you know what I'm saying? But they, for some reason on YouTube, if you're black and you're Satanist, like a true Satanist that's speaking about the goetic spirits and all of that, and then if you're a woman, there's a lot of discrimination that's happening here. And it's mainly happening by the community. The community is doing it, but you're only doing it to women. Why are you doing it at all? Don't do it at all. Doesn't it say in your Bible that you're not supposed to trespass upon people? What do you think, that it's okay for you to just rob people or try to kick in their doors and stuff just because they don't have the same beliefs as you? You're in denial. You're delulu. So I just wanted to say that, like, as we draw closer to Halloween, um, or Samhain, I'm letting Hades handle all of that, all of that. Okay, honestly, because I've protected my ancestors. All of my, I realized last year that I had to go and grab my ancestors and protect them, which would include my mother, my grandmother, and a few other of my ancestors that are close. Now, of course, I have other ancestors that I try not to call to them because they just mean as hell, like the Baba Yaga. She's one of my ancestors, you know what I'm saying? It just, I try not to be mean. And then I also have some Japanese witchy ancestors, and they just real, oh God, but I realized that last year I had to do that, and my ancestors are protected because people that practice necromancy, they will try to trap your ancestors as if your ancestors are bothering them. If somebody's not bothering you, what are you doing? If somebody doesn't care about you, what are you doing? Why are you doing things that are unnecessary? And see, that's when they start experimenting and playing around with it. Okay. And there's quite a few spirits that will bind you. They will bind you from being able to practice. They will. I've warned people about that, to where it's not going to work. When you do way too much like that, people have tolerated it for far too long. And you haven't built anything except for a house of cards and lies and deception that's going to fall apart anyway because of what you did. And you're going to have to start from square one. You're going to have to start from square one. You're going to have to go back to the drawing board. You're not going to be able to advance or grow. That's why you haven't grown. Not really. You haven't. You've settled. You've done something, but you haven't grown at all, and you're not. You're going to be reduced a whole lot. I'm just telling you what I know for a fact. Because what you've been doing is building your false name off of people who literally wanted nothing to do with you, and you just kept going and going and going. And then at the same time, trying to take away from those people that you're doing, and I'm one of them. And it's curtains on that. It's been curtains. Stop trying. And quit thinking that you're just going to get away with it because you're dealing with a black person. Please stop. So all of that crud, all of that back and forth, all of that back and forth. Soon as you see Jamila starting to get views on her channel, you want to do a smear campaign. Hades is known for he when Hades came into the picture, I felt it. When I felt his energy, and I could see Persephone, because Persephone was floating in behind him, because she's always, she's in love with Hades, and she was floating in behind him. And you know, and it was really a monumental moment when Hades came on the scene. And you don't have to believe in him if you don't want to, but what he's going to do is he's unmovable. He's not going to listen to you. And yeah, there are certain trickster spirits. There's a lot of trickster spirits. But most of the underworld, they operate on principle. They love to protect and represent and do work for honest, good people. Stop lying to people, making it seem like the underworld is all about representing most of them, a majority of them are very respectful and demure and honest. They're not liars. They're not going to back up a lie. In fact, they're going to expose the truth. Okay. And that's not a part of being a witch. I sat down and I had a really deep meditation with Hecate last month, and she said this fake, false, stupid war that's been going on has nothing to do with you being a witch, and it has no place in your life, and the back and forth is going to stop. And then next thing I knew, Hades showed up. The next thing I knew, telling me, hey, this is over. I'm going to end this back and forth so that you can go on and move on. And why wouldn't a person want that? Why wouldn't anybody want that? Why would you want to stay connected to something that's so vile and stupid? Anyway, you should want to move beyond that. You should want to, go on to the next chapter of life. And I don't fear it, because a lot of people feel like if they change, they're going to die. Oh, I'm going to die if I change this. Well, somebody lied to you. You done lied to yourself. Because it's been 10 years and I'm not going anywhere. My company is not going anywhere. So what are we going to do here? He's here to end it. To end it. And he's not going to end it by causing death to my family or something happened to somebody that I love. No, that's not what he's going to do. In fact, he's watching very closely. He saw everything. You got people every single day lighting up these doom and death candles, keeping death and doom candles lit up against me with me and my family's name on it with coffins and shit, and that shit ain't gonna work. Because everything that belongs to you, all of that confusion, all of that pain and suffering and whatever it is that you believe in belongs to you. It doesn't belong to me. I don't have to take that. You have a belief that your enemies can murder you. I don't have a belief that that anybody that doesn't like me can murder me. I don't have that belief whatsoever, and I'm not afraid of it. Okay. So, at this point, and I think every witch reaches this point, and he was like, "Why you didn't call to me years ago? Why has years went by?" I'm like, "I don't know." Hey, street poet. I'm like, "I have no idea. It's weird. It's bizarre. And you can't set up your whole life surrounding another person. That's called codependency. Codependent on saying something about me, codependent on trying to make me look some type of way, codependent on this, codependent on lying on me. No, and then another thing, it's been obvious for years that I can't be nobody's sacrifice or scapegoat. Neither can my children, my grandchildren, nobody that's in my fold. I did the live yesterday and said it straight up and down that that's never going to be reality. And I'm not just telling myself that. I have no fear. I wake up every single day knowing that everything's going to be okay. I don't even really think about it until I get up and spirit be like, and it's and I really don't understand why people would be stupid enough to be fighting with Hades. Why do you think that you can ever overcome Hades? Why do you think that? Like, it's people out there like they just running on stupid. That's just like running around like a chicken with your head cut off. And then, for you to even expect and think that you have the right to like trap somebody and you gonna make them do what you want them to do, and you're delusional, and you got a delusion of grandeur that you can actually have some kind of social media slave or something. That shit, and you know what, here's another thing. As I speak about this, depending on what date you're watching this live that I'm doing right now, uh they are going to, like, all that work that you did is all for naught. Like, they are going to deconstruct all of it. They already have, but it's not even going to be remembered. People are not even going to remember. They're not even going to remember. They're going to forget about that. You know what I'm saying? Just like McDonald's, they I think McDonald's is going to do some kind of mandala ritual to make us forget about this E. coli breakout probably 6 months from now. You know what I'm saying? And people will be back at McDonald's. I'm not gonna forget because I don't really like McDonald's too much. I'm not really into McDonald's, okay? I'm not, but y'all know what I'm talking about. See that, when you do something that makes a mark in history, typically, hold on, let me see what's going on with my cat. Honestly, the The only thing that is going to make a mark in history is when you do things that are righteous, and you can't just say, hey, I done started a war, I done infiltrated the witchy community, lost, had to go back to the church for help because I got scared and lost, but then I'm gonna come back and I'm gonna try to destroy witches. And like that has never been done in history, and it never will. There's never gonna be a time where you're gonna be able to get away with that. So you might as well just be saying, I'm gonna sacrifice myself for nothing. That's basically what you're saying, that your life means nothing to you. Because, is it not obvious? Hecate being the queen of witches and the lady of the crossroads, her mama is god of this planet, or is it her grandmother? So you don't, you're not in good company with that at all. And I personally don't want anything to do with it. And I have instructed people to, and then when it comes to something that prevents you from even living life, and disrupts the flow of life constantly, like, yeah, no, we're not doing that. So that's just like last night. One of them, it was 12 o'clock at night. One of them people that's just constantly, one of them women had one of those men doing some disgusting stuff last night. And it's just like all of your attacks are going to be for naught, and you're going to realize how much you wasted your life and your time on nothing. And then it's social media. So, it's kind of like social media can be rigged. You can make it look like people actually would agree with that, and it doesn't. So you're being very dishonest. I'm not going to sit up here and come on here and tell you about a healing ritual that I did if it didn't actually work. I'm not going to say, hey, I did this and this and that, and healed myself, of something, which, honestly, there's a lot of stuff that I could talk about, how my womb was under attack and things of that nature. I'm not going to get into detail about that. I think it's disgusting, though. I think it's disgusting for any female, woman, whatever you call yourself, to be out here and you're chasing clout and you're claiming to be some kind of goddess, and you gonna lead the women while attacking the wombs of innocent women. Like, you're like, surely you understand that within itself is what will always make you a fraud. And it's something that you're just not going to get away with. I'm personally disgusted by that. And you know what, I don't want to be associated with it. A bunch of women running around here talking about each other's vagina and things of that nature. Please, no. God, no. God is no. I'm disgusted by it. When I get off of here, you can assure that I will not be speaking about anybody's vagina. What is going on here? And what is it that what are these women with toxic male penis envy or something? A lot of these women out here are worse than some of these toxic men. A lot of these toxic women. And I don't know where these folks came from. To me, it seems like they're more so in the sex industry. And I'm gonna tell y'all something. Hecate is going to protect the integrity of the craft. There's nothing wrong with being in the sex industry and being a witch and working the craft, but whenever you are trying to infiltrate and traffic other, like a lot of these people in social media are guilty of trafficking. And then got the nerve to come on here and say I'm a goddess, and you literally you took nude photos of women and witches and tried to traffic them over on the internet. And we're supposed to believe in you. You know, and I guess there are some women with low self-esteem enough to, you got a problem to think that a person like that could ever, like, first of all, you have no clue about power, about actual real power, when you ever felt the need to come online and traffic nude photos of a witch. Like you, like you basically was. And that kind of low life, did low grade, disgusting behavior is not going to be tolerated. It's not. In fact, it will never be a reality where you, if you've ever done that, are able to do that and then show your face. And then we supposed to sit up here and believe that you are respected or valued, because you're not. There will never be a day where the church is going to infiltrate witches and think that it's okay for you to traffic them sexually and violate them sexually. We'll make sure of it. We'll make sure of it. And then tell witches that they're not good enough to marry. Not that I personally, as a witch, would want to get married in one of your churches or your justice of the peace places. I would rather hand fast in nature. But we're not going to have that. I don't care what you do. And you know what? You may think it's a joke. You may think it's a game, but we take it very seriously. Because y'all have gotten people raped before. Y'all have done things that you're not gonna just be able to cover it up. You're gonna have to pay for it. You're gonna have to pay. When you play stupid games, you're gonna win stupid prizes. Okay. And we're not gonna say, oh, that's how they do it in the dirty South. No, that's not how. No, no, we're not gonna. No, no. I'm sorry. No. Yeah, no. Nothing that you do is gonna justify that. Nothing. So that just, it is what it is. Okay. And you can keep finding stupid people that are dumb enough to absorb all that karma. They don't care about themselves, because you are on notice. You are not free to run about. You are under judgment. And lighting a reversal candle ain't gonna stop that judgment against you, hon. You are under judgment for doing those types of things, and for being disruptive and problematic, and thinking, and then trying to say, well, this is how us witches do it. No, no. And nobody's going to stand behind you on that. Nobody with any source of power. You'll be cut off. You already have been cut off. Okay, period. End of story. There's no argument or debate about that. Okay. I just, and you know what? This, especially when it comes to black people, when stuff starts happening to people, don't come to me crying, because I'm gonna come on here smiling, and I'm not even gonna mention it. Don't come to me crying. I don't even want to hear it. Every single adult has to take responsibility for their actions. If you are running around the internet attacking witches and you conjure up death and it gets you, because you're attacking people that are saying, hey, leave me alone, I'm minding my own business, that is on you. I don't have to take a moment of pause. I don't have to remember you, because in reality, these are just parasocial relationships with some of these people anyway, especially these people that are beefing with us. So-called beefing. What are we beefing about? What's the beefing about? What is that? Like, no, like you have no card to play. You have no dog in any fight. You're just like nothing. I mean, you're obsolete, you're irrelevant. That's ridiculous. Also, you can chase after people's name, the people telling you to leave them alone and telling you I don't want my name associated with that. And you gonna force them. So we got black people in social media literally trying to take black folk into slavery. And you think you ever gonna be accepted. And then not only that, they need to be investigated to me by the police to see what they're doing. They probably are being watched. Probably are being watched. They every move being watched to see what they really up to. Because something tells me that your behavior in social media, you don't even, I mean, who wouldn't have enough sense to know that that was not kosher behavior? And you can't go to the Bible and say, well, the Bible says this and that we can just sacrifice people. Listen, whoever does not accept your indoctrinated belief does not have to suffer under that doctrine. And I've been saying that for years. In fact, a lot of people that run around the internet trolling under religion, for example, there is a verse in your Bible that says that the never suffer a witch to live. Any of your rules, any of your crap only applies to people that are in your congregation. It doesn't even apply to us. It's not supposed to. So what's really going on? This is one of the reasons why I will say it. I'm not a part of a black community where I'm at, where I live. I protect everybody around here. I do. They don't even know it. But as far as being a part of a black community on the internet, I don't have nothing to do with that. So all of everything has came to a head officially. And now at this point, once we have reached the end, because spirit is like, we tired of this, we tired of this, we tired, we ain't got time for this no more. you know Constantly speaking about people in social media that you don't know, that are irrelevant to your life, makes no sense. Okay. So anywho, I gotta go, you guys. I will see y'all later. It's been, and here's another thing. You're not gonna make the target look bad because of your behavior. We're not responsible for your behavior, because we've already told you. We've already told you that we don't have nothing to do with it. We don't agree with it. We don't have anything to do with it. And that's the end of the story. And if you try, and so what they want is, they want us to be judged based upon their behavior. And the only people that are going to be judged is you for your behavior. Nobody has to take on your karma with you. Trust me. We've got potions again. We don't even have to do anything. All I have to do is sit the potion out and look at it, and it protects us against that. Nothing can get past that. That's the end of it. Now, if any of these black people or anybody else want to take on any form of any new age slave owner, you can get their karma right now. You can get the negativity and the karma right now that is set for you. You can get it right now. Because I have been just utterly disgusted with the way that I have seen black people behave in social media. I wish that I didn't know you. That's sad when somebody can honestly say, God, why did I ever talk to this person? If I hadn't never spoke to this person, I wouldn't have to be bothered with none of this crap. But see, the thing of it is that I'm healed. I don't have no like. My heart feels fine. My head feels fine. Everything feels good. I feel great like every single day. It's just the point that you're still trying this crap with other people, and then I keep hearing my name being mentioned while people are supposed to be doing psychic readings. When I have a reading schedule, people are asking me about their stuff. And we're gonna destroy your obsessive little club Jamila. We gonna destroy. We already destroyed that club Jamila. What like I and somebody was saying, oh well, that's flattery. No, I'm not stupid. That's not flattery. No, that's not. That's satire, and I'm not gonna stand for it. Every single day, they got somebody in their stupid group. They like every day, like get a grip. Every day they have a person, and I know exactly who it is because they make that move because they try to make it seem like, oh, it's just random. No, every single day, whoever it is, these three women you're not the Norns, trust me, you're not the Destiny Weavers. You're not. You don't have nothing to do with them. Okay. But every single day, you contact one of those ignorant, vile men in that group and ask them to make a video about me or do something. And that is ridiculous. You will suffer for the violations that you have done. And the Bible, hoodoo, Psalms, none of that will help you. That's the truth. Okay, I gotta go. That's pretty much it. And you're not fighting with Hades, and he's not interested in your sex magic either. He's very loyal to Persephone. He's not interested in having sex magic with you whatsoever. Okay, so you can't, he's as far as Hades is concerned, you are very butt ugly. He would never be interested in you or what you're offering because he does not like your character or your behavior. You have no integrity whatsoever. Okay. All right, y'all. Make sure that y'all get into the circle because one thing that we're protecting people from in the circle is possession and fragmenting. Okay. So, and don't say I didn't warn you. Okay. And what they do is they'll say, oh yeah, they'll tell you that God did it. Like that was God's. I feel sorry for people that believe in that. And you know what? If you're watching this channel and you are with me on what I'm saying, make sure that y'all share my channel in y'all social media because listen, I do know where a lot of this ignorance on my channel came from. And honestly, y'all should not even be a part of my algorithm because we don't have anything in common. So, all right, y'all. I will see y'all later. Okay. Blessings. Bye bye.